So the next trip that I went on, which was in 2023,
Okay.
was from LA to Prudhoe Bay, Alaska, with a stopover at Tuktoyaktuk, Canada, which is the northernmost point, motorable point in Canada.
Ah, okay.
So there is, it's a.
This is the one that ended in Dead Horse.
Yeah, so the Prudhoe Bay is Dead Horse, that's the Alaska side, and
Yes.
the Tuktoyaktuk is the Canada side. That's actually a whaling village of Inuit people.
Yes.
So it's, unlike Prudhoe Bay, which is really a oil field.
Right. No one really lives there.
No one really, it's just a place where they pump oil
Yes.
and pump it down to Valdez
Right.
to be shipped all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
So it's there for workers to live while they're like do their thing. But
Yeah.
Tuktoyaktuk is actually an indigenous town. It's a
Yeah.
village where like 5,000 Inuit people actually live,
Oh, wow.
and
Okay.
they do sustenance hunting and catch like hunt whales,
Oh, wow.
gray whales, beluga whales, and I actually got to taste the muktuk, which is whale blubber, and it's what they hunt these whales
Mhm.
under the UN quota system
I see.
because this is their survival.
Sure. Sure.
They have no other way of obtaining protein because the cows or other livestock cannot survive in that cold weather.
Right.
So whale is the only way. So I want to check that out. So
Wait,
this was
how did the blubber taste?
it tasted very greasy.
Mm.
It didn't have much taste other than it's very greasy. It's kind of like chewing on a fat.
Okay.
But the outer part was extremely chewy. It's very hard. It's like, gum is pretty soft,
Yeah.
right? But it's like chewing on hard rubber.
Huh.
And I chewed for like 2 minutes and I had to spit it out.
So it was like hard and rubbery on the outside, and then
That's right. But
like
the inside
chewy
is
on the
like
inside?
greasy, fatty,
fatty.
protein.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds delightful.
But if you eat it after you boil it, it has a different taste. So I got to taste
they gave you the raw stuff.
raw as well as boiled. And,
Okay.
So boiled has
How was it boiled?
It tasted. I don't know. It's hard to describe. I cannot find the word to describe that taste.
How did it feel?
It felt like eating like boiled bacon, maybe.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or chicken, maybe.
does
some
not sound
cross
great.
between a bacon and a chicken.
Uh-huh.
So it's hard to describe because
Okay.
there's no word to describe how these things taste.
Sure. No, I'm with you.
So yeah, in this case, I left LA, went to Utah, Wyoming, crossed into Canada through Banff, and rode through the Icefield Parkway, went to Hyder, Alaska, to Dawson City, and then in Yukon, and then Tuktoyaktuk, and came back down and crossed the Top of the World Highway, went to Fairbanks, Alaska, Prudhoe Bay, Alaska, came back down to Denali National Park, Wrangell St. Elias National Park, and then took a ferry from Prince Rupert down to Vancouver Island, and then crossed back into U.S. in Seattle, and then rode back down to L.A. So that was 37 days, 10,454 miles. So here I'm leaving for my trip, and my wife and my family, my parents, wish me a safe ride and trip. And so this is a picture at the Athabasca ice field in Banff, near the Icefield Parkway, and near Calgary, Canada.
You really get a sense of just how small people are against the vastness of nature.
Oh
in a place
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
I mean, they're big. These ice buses that go up take people up to the glacier.
Mm-hmm.
But from where I was, it's like a tiny ant. But up close, these buses are humongous.
Yeah.
It's like 4 times the size of school buses.
Right.
It's that big. These wheels are so tall, but they're like a tiny. So it's just the scale of these glaciers are enormous.
Mm-hmm.
And the next. So this is Hyder, Alaska. There's a Salmon Glacier to the left, and I'm riding up the mountain road. It's all dirt, slippery gravel. And so I'm riding up parallel to this Salmon Glacier, which is amazing. There's no place in the world that has this kind of rideable area right next to the glacier. And this was like late in the afternoon, sun was setting, was getting cold, and I was the only one up there. But when I got to the top and I was trying to make a U-turn to go back down the mountain, my bike crashed.
Oh.
So I was all by myself, and I had to remove all the heavy gear from the bike, and I had to use this technique of lifting the bike. So you cannot lift it up this way. You have to kind of get behind and use your leg muscle
Right.
to lift it up and then turn around. And so I did that to survive because it was getting late and there was nobody else to come and help. And so I learned how to do this so that I could do it in this kind of situation.
Wait, hold on. Break that down for folks who are thinking about doing this or like want to try like a solo bike trip like this. Your bike has crashed. You take all the gear off. How do you like what's like the proper technique and form to get it back up?
So as I was saying, let's say the bike is falling down this way.
Yeah.
Most people try to lift it up this way.
Right.
But that's not the right way. You need to grab the handle on this side and the back of the motorcycle and use your leg muscle to kind of lift up.
Almost like a deadlift.
It's kind of like a deadlift.
Yeah.
And there's a YouTube videos on how to bring your bike back up.
Okay.
There are many instructional videos on how to bring the bike back up when it's dropped.
Yeah.
Another challenge was there was a lot of wildfires in Canada and Alaska that year. And a lot of people discouraged me from going because these were like out of control wildfires.
Mm-hmm.
But, adventurers, we don't take those kinds of risk as a reason not to go. It's like we'll have to find a way around it.
Yeah.
So I took a picture of this, heavy smoke coming up from the fire up ahead. Fortunately, there was a couple of points where they closed off the road. But fortunately, they opened it next day, but you go at your own risk, right?
Of
So,
course.
a lot of people were turning around, but
Mhm.
I said I'm going to go as far as I can until somebody forces me to stop and turn around.
Mhm.
So I was able to get to my destination.
I definitely am the same way. I'm just going to do something, and then if someone yells at me to stop, I'll stop.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different reasons to give up.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to give up. I
Exactly.
wanted to make it to Tuktoyaktuk and Prudhoe Bay, Alaska,
Yeah.
and then get home safe.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't want to take no for an answer. I want to find a workaround. and
Exactly.
try to find
There's
ways
always
to
a
make it
reason
happen.
not to do it.
That's right. And another is, bear is a huge problem there. And there's a bear right along the road, and I got close and took some pictures. And a lot of people said, "Hey, that's too close or too dangerous." But I had a bear spray, so I felt like I was okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, and this is when I was entering the Arctic Circle. I think that's 65-degree latitude as a top cap of the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So you're entering that point, and after that, there's tundra, and there's the weather changes, and it's a kind of a different environment. And then eventually, I made it to the Arctic Ocean and Tuktoyaktuk. This was on the Canada side.
Now, I'm assuming you jumped into that one.
I did.
You
jump into-
actually?
I did.
Hell yeah.
And the water was surprisingly not that cold.
Okay.
You think North Pole is not too far away,
Yeah.
and Arctic Ocean you think is really cold.
I would think
but
so.
this was like July, end of July.
Oh, all right.
So it was not that cold. So I was pleasantly surprised.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Respect. G's up.
And this is actually I stayed at a bed and breakfast inn. There's not many of them up there, but it's 12 o'clock midnight. But you could still see the sun in the northern
Oh, yeah.
northern sky, and
Mhm.
it's light. So it's light 24 hours a day
Yeah.
for a period of 30 days, right?
So how do you manage your sleep schedule in an environment like that?
Well, you're so tired, so I didn't have problem falling asleep.
Just pass out.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
just you're so tired, you just pass out. And the next slide. So these are Inuvialuit people. They're within Canada. There are many different tribes or groups of native First Nation people,
Sure.
and they're super nice, very warm people, very hospitable. So it was really interesting to meet them, and one of them gave us. This is a small a restaurant. There's not that many restaurants, one or two. This is one of the two restaurants, and there they boil the whale meat, the moktuk.
Oh, is that where you tried the
Yeah, that's where I
boiled-
tried it as an appetizer.
Okay.
So I met some of the other motorcycle riders from Canada, and so this was a picture with the restaurant owner and 3 other riders that I met
Oh, wow.
and took to Yaktuk. And riding back was really hard because it rained, but I still had to keep going. So I had to ride in any kind of weather, and
Right.
so and it could be dangerous because your visibility is very bad. So this is a riding helmet, and it not only protects but also keeps your head warm. But it could fog up, so I have to lift it up, and so the rain water would hit my glasses, and So you just gotta make do with poor visibility
Yeah.
because you need to get back to the next town.
And so, what are you worried about happening when you have such low visibility? Are you worried about like falling into a hole or hitting something? Or?
Yeah, so there's a lot of potholes on the road.
Gotcha.
There might be a slick spots or like watery spots. So just not being able to see where you're going. And so I there's several motorcycle riders have been like killed on that road.
Right.
So it is dangerous, but that's the adventure. You're testing yourself.
Yeah.
And I ride safe and ride conservatively, but I myself have to take risks sometimes because the weather is very bad, or I'm going through a wildfire areas, or very windy area in case of Patagonia. So I finally enter Alaska and get on the Dalton Highway. Dalton Highway is this 400 miles of what's called haul road. It's where the trucks move all the supplies up to from Anchorage to Prudhoe Bay for the oil field. So it's really not a highway per se, but it's really a private road built for this oil pipeline construction.
Interesting.
So on the left is the Alaska Pipeline, which is amazing marvel of engineering because it's about 700 miles long, starts from Prudhoe Bay on the Arctic Ocean and goes all the way down to Valdez, where it's loaded onto a supertanker and shipped to other countries. But along this Dalton Highway, you're constantly in the presence of this huge Alaskan pipeline. And the Alaska Highway has an interesting history in that it was built during World War II when Allied forces, including United States, Britain, and Soviet Union, were on one side, and Nazi Germany and Italy and Japan were on the other side. So the United States supplied a lot of weapons and ammunition to Soviet Union to fight the war in the European theater.
Yeah.
And they built this Alaskan Highway as a road to move all these weapons and ammunition into Soviet Union.
Right. And wasn't it also to respond in case of a Japanese attack as well?
That was the second reason. So
Okay.
Japanese attacked one of the Aleutian Islands off of Alaska. And so there was a fear that Japanese could invade the mainland through the Aleutian Island chain and up to Alaska and down to the main lower 48. So it was very interesting history to learn during this trip about the history of the Alaskan Highway. And you see a lot of wild animals. This is one of the moose that I ran into in the tundras in the Alaska. And next slide. This is a caribou. There's lots of caribous in that region.
Are they aggressive mostly, or are they at all, or are they just mostly doing their own thing?
I think if they're provoked, then they could get aggressive.
Sure.
But they usually try to avoid humans. So they if you get close, they run away.
Okay.
And so this is the last mountain range in Alaska before you get to the North Shore. And so I'm riding up this dirt road to the Artesian Pass, and there's a mountain range here that's the highest pass in Alaska. Sorry? Brooks Range, that's the name. I couldn't think of the name. Thank you for pointing that out. Brooks Range. And then the next is, I'm now from Artesian Pass, I'm like riding down on the north shore of the Brooks Range, headed toward Arctic Ocean. And you can see a truck coming up on the left, but it's tiny. It just shows you the sort of the scale and the distance of things.
Right. Like you were saying before.
And I finally made it to Dead Horse in Prudhoe Bay, Alaska. This is a famous spot where a lot of adventurers, whether it's motorcycle or cars, they take a picture. It's sort of kind of a proof that you made it.
It looks like it. I
Yeah.
mean, with all the stickers in the
So
back.
I was very happy. It was
Yeah.
a grueling ride. It took me about 18 days to get there, 17 or 18 days to get there. So rode about 5,200 miles to get there
Okay.
from LA. And this is the satellite picture of where I am at Prudhoe Bay on the top, that blue dot at the top, and then the blue dot at the bottom is the Los Angeles.
You're
which
even
is
bigger in this picture.
well, it's because the map is small. Yes. And the next slide.
And so this last,
Yeah, I did
you
my
ran it?
feet in
Love it.
on the Arctic Ocean
Love
in
it.
Prudhoe Bay.
Mhm.
Now, one of the kind of sad things that I experienced is that they had this flare gas. When you pump a lot of oil from underground, there's a lot of gas, and so they need to burn it off. So it's called flare gas burning, and it was pretty sizable, and it rumbles, so you could hear it from like even far away.
Oh, wow.
And it's all pollution, right?
Right.
It's gas burning, and so I felt, wow, we're like polluting the earth.
Right.
But then we need gas to get around, especially
Sure.
like motorcycle, because
Yeah.
you cannot really
Like you
use
couldn't-
electric motorcycle because you don't have the range. And so it was kind of a mixed feeling.
It's complicated,
Yeah,
for sure.
it's a complicated situation. And I got my compass out to record my latitude. I got up to 70 degrees north, which is the northernmost point that I've ever been to, which was pretty special. Next. And coming back, I took a shot at the Artesian Pass in the Brooks Range on the way back.
That's pretty.
And I was so tired, so there's no real rest stop in that Dalton Highway. So
Right.
you just pull over to like an open area and just kind of lie down and rest. It was not even a bench or anything.
You see okay, fair enough. You pass someone like lying on the side of the road. You're just like, they're fine.
Yeah, actually right after this guy driving a truck, I think it's one of the road construction workers.
Uh-huh.
He said, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm okay." And he brings me a bottle of water. So, so
Nice
that's
of
really
him.
nice.
Nice of him, yeah.
But people, they look after each other because you're so remote.
Sure.
So if there is any trouble, they help each other.
That's nice.
So on the way back down, I stopped near the Denali National Park, and that white mountain in the picture is the Mount Denali. And it's rare that you could have a clear shot like that, but I was very lucky that day that it was a clear, so I could have a clear visibility.
And once again, just like look at how far away you were and look how big it was.
Yes.
Like just massive.
Right. And I was
Moose.
heading to Wrangell St. Elias National Park and ran into this very tall, very big moose on the road. So I stopped to take a picture, and then he just kind of quietly walked out. That was a pretty special encounter. And this is an area called Gakona Lodge. It's in the middle of pretty much nowhere,
It looks
100
more like a
miles
tent.
away. Yeah, so I tried to book a room, but rooms were sold out, mostly to construction workers who was working on the road. There's a lot of road construction going on up there. But the owner was nice enough to let me pitch my tent for free at this lawn area right next
Oh, nice.
to the place. But unfortunately, it was parked right next. It was right next to a restaurant saloon. And the particular night that I camped there was Saturday night.
Right.
And that's the only place to socialize and have fun for the locals.
Right.
So they were partying till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, so I couldn't sleep very well.
And it still
And so-
looks like bright outside.
Yeah, it's bright, I'm tired, I'm cold. But anyway, that's part of the experience. And this is a signpost that I saw at Vancouver Island. There's a town of Port Hardy. And when I got off the ferry and I was riding down, I saw this sign, "Live the Adventure." And I thought, wow, that's an amazing catchphrase that I really liked. So took a picture of that. And then I got home safely. So
Yay.
my family welcomed me back home. My daughter, Emily, was tested positive, so she's wearing a mask there. And my mother was looking on. She was very worried about my trip. She's like very worried when I go on these trips.
Sure.
So, but I just asked her to pray for me, and she
Is
wished
she
for me.
still worried you're back?
Yes, she's always worried that when I'm going on trips.
So you may as
She's
well
so
just
happy
go.
when I'm back, of course.
Of course.
So yes.